Welcome back to another brown liquor review. Dan here with Crown Royal Black. This one was requested by one of my subscribers, Jeremy Foster, and I thought that I would go ahead and purchase it and see what I thought about it. Anybody else who wants to request a review, just leave it in the comments section below, and I'll be more than happy to give it a nose and a taste if I feel like I can afford it and I can access it. So for this one, and so thank you, Jeremy, for recommending this one for me. So this one comes in at 45 proof, or I'm sorry, 45%, 90 proof. And as you can see, it's called black because of how dark it is. And it is really dark. I want to say that this is one of the darkest whiskeys I've ever seen, except for maybe like a super sherry bomb from Scotland or something like that. The color, I know there's a lot of whiskey drinkers out there that put a lot of stock into the color, and I've said many times that I don't put much thought into what the color is. One of the things they say on here, actually the first description of this whiskey is robust on the back of it, and I think that is a misconception about whiskey, that the color means that it's robust or that the color means that it is aged well. Okay, I'm going to get into this one, but just for an example, this is mezcal. It's called Chichicapa. Okay, and it is very clear. I don't think I have a glass. And this is much more robust than this. Okay, and it is clear. It's clear. Okay, so just as my public service announcement for tonight, I think for at least the 100th time, color doesn't mean anything when it comes to robustness. All right, and in fact, with this one, it turns out that it's quite the opposite. So the color, it's almost murky. It's kind of a strange color. I would wager that that they did add color into it. It just doesn't seem like a natural color to me. But what I find is that instead of being like robust and in your face, this is quite mellow, subtle, even delicate. The first thing you're going to want to do after you've given it a taste and a smell, and you'll figure this out for yourself, is that you're going to want to add water. So I've actually already added 2 full spoonfuls of water to this. Okay, it's not because it's strong, it's kind of solventy and it's kind of young and it's just a little bit rough around the edges. The other thing that you're going to want to do with this whiskey is that you're going to want to water it, and then you're going to want to give it time in the glass. And in fact, you can see I haven't drank a lot of this, but I have been letting it air out a little bit, and I'm hoping that will help it a little bit. So when you buy yours, if you decide to, make sure you take the cap off the first night that you drink it and just let it sit. But then also with the first dram that you pour, make sure that you water it to your liking and then you let it sit for a little while. This one does take some time to grow on you. Okay, I'm getting like bargain brand maple syrup, so there is maple notes to it, but it has a certain kind of fakeness to it. You get caramel candies, rye toast, overripe bananas, and there's sherry notes too. They say these ones come from bourbon barrels. I'm guessing it's more about, that's the spirit-driven part of this. And like I said, if we fast forwarded like an hour with time, the bourbon notes do start to come out. So you get really light brown sugar, vanilla, a little bit of caramel. A really, really subtle whiskey. And you're probably thinking, but Dan, it's so dark. And it's just not robust. You know, it's quite delicate. Um, so maple notes. There's an oak spice in there. Okay, the light brown sugar. It's slightly nutty, kind of like a what kind of, like maybe like a hazelnut or something like that. It's a sweet, sweet whiskey. It really is. Um, the finish comes and goes as you know right away. That's actually one of the things that they write on the back of here is that the finish is long and pronounced. It's really not. It's really a delicate whiskey. So here's the take-home message with Crown Royal Black or any other kind of whiskey that tries to draw attention to its color. I would just ignore it if I were you. Okay, Crown Royal makes better products than this one. I don't think it represents their brand very well. In fact, I think it kind of tries to take advantage of us whiskey drinkers who are inexperienced and purchase whiskey for what our previous misconceptions were. And so that's why you take the time and you do your research. Buyer beware, buyer take care, as Ralphie says. And you'll learn as you go. This one gets a brown liquor review score of 81. If you drink this without water, you're going to think that it's basically pretty awful. So give it some time, get to know it. And I'm still getting to know this too. I just wanted to make sure I got this review out in a timely manner. And, I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying it. For $32, I think I'd pass. I'd go back to the brown or the Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye, Crown Royal Original, Crown Royal Reserve. I'm not hating on Crown Royal. I like Crown Royal. Go give those ones a shot for $32. This one's a little bit steep. What else do I want to say? Just surprisingly a thin whiskey. That it does add to your experience if you give it time in the glass. So I'll be coming back with another review soon, and let me know what you think about this. I think that when I first started drinking whiskey, I thought that color meant something. I feel like the darker it is, the more luxurious it is, and I still feel that way. There's something about sitting down with like a nice crystal glass, like a nice crystal tumbler, and having like a super dark whiskey in here. But if you're going to do that, do it with like Glendronach 15-year-old, where that all of that color is basically coming from really good sherry casks. Or sit down and find or go out there and look for whiskeys that say no color added or natural color, so that that color is actually coming from the cask itself. There's nothing here that tells me that they added any color to it, but I'm pretty sure they did. All right, well, thank you for tuning in, and leave any comments. Give me a like if you like, even subscribe if you want to. Have a good evening.